Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our first league game in charge of Brentford against QPR away from home. But the main part of this is going to be the transfer roundup. We've been extremely busy over this summer period. There is one or two positions I might still want to strengthen, but for the most part, we are done. My word, have we done a lot. We've had a massive clear out, and it started at the end of last season. So you'll have to bear with me a moment until we get to the listing. As you can see, there's £87 million spent there and £97 million received. But here, as you can see, there's £192 million received. Only some of that was from my point of view, and £102 million spent, and again, some of that was from myself. What I'm going to do, I think it'll be easier to go through the outgoings on this screen, but I'll just go into the squad and let you know about the players that have come in from there. So at the end of the season, obviously they got relegated after the last game of the season. A lot of the big names at the club wanted to leave, and I thought, you know what, they've just been relegated, all the players want to leave, far be it from me to keep a hold of them when they haven't done the job for the club initially. Some of the decisions were a bit tougher than others, but my word, have we had a clear out. So Ivan Toney went to Leeds for £10 million, as did Jonathan David for £20 million. Ivan Toney, by the way, still a really good striker. And I think we did well to get the money that we did for him. But the thing was, for him, yes, he's 33, but he is still a top player. But he was on 110, 115 grand a week. And in the Championship, we can't have players on that sort of money. It's just not the done thing. Jonathan David was on about 80 grand a week. He went for £20 million. Cassidy, I was a bit annoyed about. He had a release clause of £49.5 million. All the bids came in at the same price of £37 million. So he ended up going to Arsenal, and as you can see, his valuation is a lot better than what we managed to sell him for, but there wasn't really a lot we could do. But again, he wanted to leave, so that was that done. Thiago Djala was a 30-year-old defender. He went to Wolves for £15 million. Brian Mbemo was 29. He was still at the club, as you can see. He went to Liverpool for £50 million. He was one of the players that we sold quite early, so he maintained a lot of his transfer value. As did Mohamed Salisu, again, late 20s, early 30s, central defender. Went to Watford for £31.5 million. Troy Parrott was actually out on loan at Everton, and he had a clause within that deal that Everton could make permanent, so he went for £44.5 million. Kenny Tet we released. Beck Sorensen went for £7.5 million. He was 30 as well. That was another thing with the team. It was quite an ageing squad as well, but we've certainly rectified that, as you'll see soon. Stefan Posch, who was 33, went to Cadix for £10 million. Shilavi was a good young defender. He was only 21, but and he did show good potential, but a £1.8 million bid came in, and we were rejigging the whole team by that point, so he left the club. Mark Rocker was 34. He went to Alaves for £500,000. Ambriz and Bello both went to Udinese for a combined £9.5 million. Bello was around 27, and I was debating keeping him, but again, he expressed a desire to leave in the end. And Ambriz was a centre-back / holding midfield player, and again, I wasn't really going to use him, so that was that. Thomas Strakosha, 35 years of age, goalkeeper. He went to Chelsea for £1 million. Philippe Santin, now he was one that I was a bit unsure of getting rid of. He was a good striker. He's only 22, Argentine, but again, he expressed a desire for more football to get into the Argentina setup. And with the players we managed to bring in, he may have played, but at the same time, he was getting a bit too big for his boots, so he went for £7.5 million. And Mads Roslev, we've been trying to sell him for most of the transfer window. He again wanted a new challenge. We managed to get him out of the door for 15 million, and the rest there are a number of loans, including Stefan Sewell to our initial club in the series, Chesham, which was a nice little touch. So he and a number of other young players have gone out on loan. So in terms of the actual squad, we must have signed 20 players, I think, overall. So we'll start with our two new goalkeepers. So Nathan Gardner has come in as our backup. He's worth 20 to 22 million pounds. We managed to bring him in from Liverpool for 100,000 pounds, so he is going to be a major profit. But he only wanted to be a backup as well, so that has worked out well for us. Diego Mariña, who's a 20-year-old Spanish goalkeeper, 3-star current ability with 5-star potential. Really, really good goalkeeper, I think, at 6'2" as well. He's capped for Spain. He is classed as a wonder kid. We've done really well to bring him in from Paris Saint-Germain. £10.5 million. Really happy with that deal. Nikita Gazaev, who's a Norwegian international. Again, 2.5 to 3-star current ability with 4-star potential. Good solid centre back, 6'1", really strong and solid presence at the back there. And he's worth 11 to 16 million, as you can see. We brought him in for £6 million from French side Monaco, I think it was. We brought him in from. So again, really good, solid signing there. This is a guy I had my eye on when I was at Dundee United. 3-star current ability, just the half-star of potential, but I think he's a really good defender, to be honest. He can play at right back and centre back. I'm largely going to be using him at centre back. He's 6 foot tall, really strong, reasonably quick as well, considering really good mental attributes as well, which is what I like to see. 16 to 17.5 million pounds worth of value. We bought him in for 5.75 million from Leipzig, who paid 2.5 times that, so we did really well to bring him in for that price. Needed a bit of experience at the back as well, so 3.5-star current ability with the same potential for 27-year-old Jared Braithwaite. Came through at Everton in the past. He's worth quite a good amount of money as well, and we signed him for £7.75 million. Erlend Kollenborg, as I was saying, we have completely rebuilt this squad. 21-year-old Norwegian again. He's normally going to be a right back, can play quite a few different positions, as you can see. 13.5 to 16 million pounds, 4-star potential as well. We signed him for £6 million from Lyon, and again, I think that was a really good deal for us. Rico Henry is still at the club. He's not expressed a desire to leave either, so I'm quite happy to keep him in the squad. AJ Herworth has come into the side. His defensive attributes leave a little bit to be desired. He's going to largely be a right back for us at 3-star current ability with the extra half-star potential. But again, he's quite quick and he's got good crossing ability as well. 12.5 to 14 million pounds in terms of valuation. We brought him in for 4.5 million from Newcastle. I think, again, solid option for us in there. Mattia Spedicato was next, left wing back, 17.5 to 25 million pounds, 5-star potential as well, which is very much key for me. Really good pacey wing back. His crossing ability is a little bit to be desired, but he will improve. He's only 20 years of age as well, and I think he will be a solid option in there. And we brought him in from Genk for 14 million pounds, which is right in the middle of that valuation. So again, he'll be there or thereabouts, I think. Cedric Levesque, who's a centre-back, come left-back. Largely, I'm going to be playing him at centre-back. I think this guy is brilliant, by the way. French under-21 international, 6'2", good physical player with good, strong mental attributes and quite solid technicalities for being a centre-back as well. We signed him on a release clause of just £11 million, and as you can see, he's worth nearly 3 times that already. 4-star potential for him as well, and again, really solid option for us at the back. Roger Silva, I don't know if he's going to... I don't really know exactly where I'm going to play him, but the reason I brought him in is because he can play left back, centre back and right back. And with 5-star potential as well, again, solid physicals, really good mental attributes. He's 6'3", so it stands to reason he probably will end up being an option for us at centre back. He only wanted to be a fringe player as well. We brought him in from Sporting for £11.5 million, and he's worth double that. So I think, again, we've done well. Boularud was already at the club. He's a really good, strong Belgian youngster. So I think he is certainly going to have a future at the club. He is out injured, unfortunately, for a couple of months. So he will miss out for a little while. Nardoni and Doyle have stayed at the club as well for the time being. Azat Kezgin, we do know this name, don't we? He was at Dundee United with us. He's not as good in this league as he was in Scottish in terms of the way he's rated, because obviously the Championship is a slightly more competitive league, but he's potentially still at 4.5 star with 2.5 star of current ability. And again, under 21 international, his passing ability is phenomenal. We need him, a player like him especially, in that midfield. Physicals are still quite good. and I think he will certainly come good in this league with that chance to develop. I think we signed him for £15 million he cost us in the end, and his valuation's there or thereabouts again. So again, a solid option in midfield. This guy, I was looking at him for a while as well. Jan Muller, Austrian under 21 international. He's only 19, worth 19 to 23 million pounds. We bought him for 12 million from Austria Vienna, but I think this guy is going to be special. Determination of 16 as well, and leadership qualities in that as well. But his passing ability is not great, but again, that is something we can develop. He can play defensive midfield, central midfield, and attacking midfield as well, should we decide to go for that attacking midfield role. But I think overall we've got a really good young player there as well. Samuel Ling was already there, as was Brendan Aronson. Dauda Lele, who is an attacking central midfielder. And again, he's only 2-star current ability, which looking at the ratings that he has, I think he's a lot better than that, to be quite honest. He can play normal central midfield as well, and his same rating as attacking. So, but looking at his attributes, I mean, his marking's 13, his tackling's 12. I think he could be potentially a defensive midfield player. And he's 6 foot tall as well. He's worth anywhere between 6.5 to 25 million pounds, and we only signed him for 7.25. So in the end, that worked out to be quite a good deal for us. From Valencia, only 18, of course. Isaacson, Campaz, and Kazau and Strelec were already here. Brandon Abaya, again, another really exciting young player. He's managed to get his first international cap for Belgium not that long ago. 3-star current ability with 5-star potential. Rapid. Centre forward type. He can play up front. He can also play out wide as an inside forward. Finishing isn't great considering as a striker, but because of his pace, he will be a terror for some defences, especially in the Championship. And I think we've done really well to bring him in. 25 to 34 million pound in terms of valuation. Hamburg only had him for 2 seasons. They signed him for 16 million. We bought him off them for 10. So again, really good deal for us. Keelan Vipond, we've moved up from our under 21s, and we did manage to get the main man that I did want from Dundee United when we came here. Guido Polidoro has followed us as well as Azak Kesgin. I mean, what can I say about this guy, this man? He's done really well for us at Dundee United, and I'm really happy to have him in at the club with his finishing ability, decent work rate, good pace as well, and really good natural fitness. He could potentially be our centre forward this season. And this one was a bit more of an odd one. He's 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. We signed him from Morton in the Scottish Championship for £3.9 million. And as you can see, he's worth there or thereabouts 30 million. He's a really pacey young striker. He's only 19, 6'2", finishing of 16, determination 14, leadership qualities as well. I think he could be quite special. Now, again, it was a cheeky little signing, but we've had a bit of a series of that so far, like with Azak Kesgin and our favourite goalkeeper Stashevsky. They were amateurs, remember, and they've become very good players. And obviously, Stashevsky was pretty much a £30 million player, and we did get offered him not long ago, in fact, to come here to Brentford, but I don't think he's willing to join us at the minute because obviously we have been relegated. But as you can see, we've made signing after signing this summer, and I'm not expecting us to do an awful lot in terms of the first few league games, purely because obviously it'll take the team a little while to gel. But in terms of the way the league is going to shape up, originally we were favourites to finish top of the league with the squad that we had. We've made a lot of changes, and it is a much younger squad now, which is great. But we're there or thereabouts, looking at finishing in 3rd place. Fulham are favourites for the league and Forest are favourites for 2nd. And as you can see, QPR are there in 4th and Middlesbrough are there in 7th. They're our first 2 league games, so we've got a tough start with this young squad. So we'll have to wait and see how we get on. And fingers crossed, we can at least look positive. We're going for a gegenpress style, and like I say, hopefully it will work out. Initially, we were doing the counter-attacking formation that we did at Dundee United for a few games. And against teams like Sutton and Boreham Wood, we should be winning much better than we were. So we changed to the gegenpress system, and we've had 4 preseason clean sheets since we did the gegenpress system. Yes, they're not particularly great teams, but it's given us the match time that we needed, and we go into this away game against QPR hopefully ready to make a stand and see how we got on at the start of this season. Obviously, completely new squad practically. It is going to be a massive change round, but we'll see how we get on. We've got Marina in goal with Spedicato, Branthwaite, Eisner and Herworth at the back. Azak Kesgin, Aronson and Muller in the midfield with Ling and Abaya out wide. Strelic up front. And obviously the bench is reasonably strong. A number of the players that aren't selected. Isaacson and Campaz might end up leaving still. We're still waiting to hear on that. Nardone is another one who we may or may not use. But all of the new signings, apart from Dauda Lele, are in this squad. So fingers crossed we can get a good start and we'll see how we get on. Yes, quality is a little bit of an issue, but with them all being young, they have got that ability to improve. It's going to be tough at the start of the season, and when the players are settled in, hopefully we can start rattling through some victories as we go through the campaign. Like I say, it is going to be tough, but fingers crossed we can get a positive start here. QPR are rocking some quite strong players in Reagan Poole and Binks at the back. Harvey White's in there, Jason Knight as well. So, I mean, they've got a good bench as well with the likes of Novoa, Wilson Esperand, Aaron Conley and Sweet in there. So, we'll have to see how we get on. Their manager, by the way, is Phil Neville, I just noticed. So this is going to be a derby to start the season as well. Obviously, all of these players don't know what it means to play in a derby, which is a bit of a strange situation to be in. But we'll see how we get on, and fingers crossed we can get a positive start. Drame with a throw here for QPR. Here's Semenyo into Sharp. Looking to switch it. Ling does well to intercept. Now Branthwaite. Into Azak Kesgin. Branthwaite and Aronson. Well played by Aronson to find Ling out on this left-hand side. Opportunity maybe to get the ball into the penalty area. Can he get the cross in? Spedicato, Aronson. Spedicato does get the cross in. There's a buyer with an attempt, just wide of the post. It remains 0-0, but very positive start. 2 early yellow cards there on that left-hand side for Ling and Spedicato, which is a bit of a concern. Those of you that have been watching the series all the way through so far, I don't like yellow cards, especially early in games. High risk of sending offs, of course. So I'll have to keep tabs on that. It may be that we have to make the substitutions earlier than expected. Azak Kesgin with a free kick. Collins with a good save to tip it over the crossbar. Wasn't expecting Kesgin to be shooting from there, I might add. It was quite a way out. But we do have a corner. Aronson to take. Swings it in. Branthwaite's there with the header. And it's come off the post. And he couldn't quite get it at the second attempt. But so far, so good, to be quite honest. We're looking very positive. Yes, we haven't got the goal yet. But with the way that we're playing so far, I'm quite happy. Eisner, comfortable header back to Molinia. Just holds on to it briefly. And plays it back out to Eisner. Herworth's on a yellow card as well, I might add. Here's Eisner into Branthwaite. Just got to take our time in possession, be nice and patient. That's a good little run though from Branthwaite. Muller into Kesgin. Branthwaite again. Aronson. I'm liking the way this gegenpress is working with the side. Obviously with all the young, with it being a much younger team now, we've got that energy in the side as well. Muller couldn't quite get there, but Eisner picks it up. That's a lovely ball over the top, and Abaya's in behind the wing-back. Tries to cross, and he couldn't quite get it through, but Herworth's played it in, and Strelic is there, and it's just over the crossbar again. But to be quite honest, considering the team's not really been playing together, I think we've got a good blend of youth and experience as well, I might add. Branthwaite's in there, Aronson, Ling and Strelic, they're the more experienced players in this starting lineup. And I think overall, despite all the young players we've signed, we've got a decent balance at the moment. Eisner here to Aronson. Now Muller. That's a nice pass into Abaya. Chance to run at the fullback. Here's Herworth now. Plays it back into Muller. Over the top here, and here is Abaya. And that is a brilliant save from Collins. QPR really are struggling to deal with us at the moment. but we're just lacking that finish, which is always the concern here. Aronson with a delivery from the corner, looking to the near post, and Collins manages to make the claim. Certainly can't argue with that first half, playing extremely well. Again, a little bit concerned about those yellow cards, but yeah, just keep it up. I mean, the ratings don't look great, but I think we've done really well there, to be honest. Also, instead of having a pressing forward, we've got an advanced forward, and I think that should work a little bit better for us in the long run with the type of players that we have. Here's Drame, a buyer with a brilliant tackle there, and now Muller. That's a great ball over the top, and Ling is there with the finish. It's a brilliant, brilliant finish. He may have been offside. Well, there's not even a look at it being offside. It was a lovely finish from Samuel Ling, and we have our first goal of the season, and obviously it's one of the players that we didn't sign. It's one of the players that was here last season, but that is a brilliant, brilliant start. And Semenyo into Sharp now. Here's Drame, a buyer keeping the pressure on. Here's Jason Knight, trying to get past Muller, couldn't. White into Richards. Now Morutan. That's a lovely pass into Semenyo, but Mourinho with the save. He didn't know he was offside, Mourinho. It was a very good save, but offside it was. And we head into the last 25 minutes, looking very strong at the moment. Again, I'm still concerned about these yellow cards. We'll bring Kohlenberg on for his debut at right back. Is Levesque left-footed? He is left-footed. Levesque I brought in to be a centre-back, but I think he can come on first, Spedicato at left-back. For now, Ling's on a yellow card as well, and we'll bring Polidoro on for his debut. And I think that'll do us for now. In terms of fitness, I'm very impressed, because this gegenpress style is very high intensity, and so far we've not suffered too much with tiredness on this opening game. Here's Morutan. Swings it into the far post. Branthwaite with the headed clearance to Azak Kesgin, who looks for Strelic. Drame does well to beat him, but Abaya finds Strelic. Can he hold it up? Yes, he can. Kohlenberg with the ball over the top, and now Abaya using his pace here. That's a good little turn back, and he finds Kohlenberg. Azak Kesgin. Muller. That's a lovely pass, looking for Polidoro. Aronson wins it, and there is Strelic with the finish. There's a hint of offside to this, though. And offside it is. By the looks of it, I don't think there's any VAR in the Championship, is there? That could be why it's a little bit more forgiving with the offsides, I suppose. Abaya's struggling for a little bit of fitness here. We may bring him off. And Eisner is on a yellow card. I don't want to change too much again with the defence for the time being. I think what we'll do, we'll bring Kevin Michael on for his debut. Strelic can go onto that right hand side. We haven't actually got too many midfield options on the bench, weirdly. I mean, Levesque could play. Put Levesque in there. Kesgin can go in there. And then we'll bring Roger Silver on. And we'll switch. Yeah, that's going to be how it is, I think. Roger Silver's going to have to go in at left back, and Levesque can sit in front of that back four. Abaya's off as well for Kevin Michael, who comes on for his debut. I hate changing so many defenders in any game. Obviously, it can slightly mess with the solidity of the defence. But I think today we've done extremely well. All of the players have come in, had their debuts. We've kept a clean sheet, and we've claimed a 1-0 win. That is a fantastic result, considering, like I say, QPR are favourites for a playoff place as well. We've done really well. The goal was absolutely outstanding, and we created a lot of opportunities as well. I am extremely happy with that. Really, really good start. We may still look at one or two signings. I'm still a little bit unsure. Kevin Michael does look good on paper. I mean, Polidoro we've got as well. But if the likes of Campaz, maybe Aronson as well, and I can't remember the name of the other guy. If those players leave, we will need another winger. There was a player I wanted in from Porto, but he has rejected not only a permanent deal but a loan move as well. So it's unlikely we'll get him in. But if we can sign either a winger or a striker, I think we'll be pretty much sorted for the squad then. Um, but it's an awkward one. We need that quality up front, I think. But with all the new players we've got, we need to give them an opportunity to be able to play. So I'm still a little bit to and froing with it. I think we've done well to sign all the players that we have, though, but we've still got 50 million that we can spend as well. So certainly a lot to be positive about, especially after that fantastic opening day win. Um, as you can see, the scouts are still bringing in names. We almost signed one of the strikers from Middlesbrough, I might add, as well. He was a proper good striker, but again, we just couldn't get him in. And a few scout reports here as well. In terms of our actual schedule, we've got a Carabao Cup tie coming up, but we've got a few league games to get through. I'll probably come back for Derby at home and Sheffield Wednesday away at the start of well, I say the start of September. Sheffield Wednesday's in the middle now. But we'll come back for the Derby game and Sheffield Wednesday games. We'll get through the rest of this transfer window. We'll go through any other deals that may or may not have happened, and we'll see where we stand from there. But that is a really good start considering all the changes were made to the squad, and all of them youngsters played extremely well for the most part as well. So I certainly have nothing to complain about there. Fingers crossed it can continue. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time, and this is Big Will signing away.